In our last lesson, we recorded a few clips in a track. Go ahead and open your first clips file to keep working with your clips. If you double-click on one of the clips you recorded, you'll see the MIDI editor in the bottom window. You can toggle back to device view by clicking the device view selector. Device view, if you'll remember, is where you can change the parameters of the instrument in this track. I've got the analog saw bass loaded now, and if I don't like, for example, the cutoff filter frequency, I can change it. By selecting the clip view selector, I can see the notes I played along with the analog saw bass expressed as MIDI data on the piano roll. Try the key command Shift-Tab to toggle back and forth between the two views. And don't forget, you can close this whole Details view window by clicking the triangle in the lower right-hand corner. Let's move around in this window a bit. Hover your cursor so that it turns into a magnifying glass. Then click, hold, and scroll up or down. Notice the window zooms in and out. This clip is displayed in the clip overview area down in the corner, and a rectangle appears over the part of the clip that's displayed in the MIDI editor. You can click and drag there too. Cool. There's a third way. Click in the MIDI editor window and then hit the plus or minus keys on your computer keyboard. You can further customize the way this display shows your MIDI notes by hovering the cursor to the left of the piano keyboard, clicking and dragging up or down to navigate, or left and right to resize. If you want to hide the parts of the keyboard that have no information on them, enable Fold, and your keyboard will only show you the range of the keyboard that has MIDI data on it. Here's another trick. Hold Alt and Ctrl, and you'll see your cursor turn into a little hand. Now if you click and drag, you can navigate the window up and down. Pick whichever technique suits your style. You can start and stop playback of your clip with the spacebar, or by hovering the cursor so that it turns into this little speaker, and then clicking the mouse. Let's play with some of these MIDI notes. First, let's try the simple click and drag. If you don't hear any sound when you click and drag, make sure the blue preview headphones icon is enabled. Moving notes up and down is pretty simple. If the grid size is large enough, Ableton will even tell you which note and which octave you have. The duration of these notes is a bit more involved. For that, we need to look at how the timeline of the window is organized. Let's look at the transport controls at the top of the screen. Here you'll see a play triangle, a stop square, and a record circle. Tap the stop square twice, and you'll see the counter go back to 1, 1, 1. That is first bar, first beat, first 16th note. This corresponds with the timeline on the MIDI editor window. Bar 1, beat 1, first 16th is followed by bar 1, beat 2, bar 1, beat 3, and so on. If I click on one of these notes, the status bar down here will show that this note appears in bar 1 on the third beat, a little past the second 16th of a beat. I can move it, and it will snap to the nearest 16th on the grid because I have the marker snap editor set to 16th. I can change that by right-clicking in the editor and choosing a different snap value. Let's change it to 1/8. Now you can see that each beat is divided in half for a total of 8 subdivisions to the bar. If I select 1/4, the bar will be divided into 4 parts, beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. The notes displayed here are of unequal length because I played them on my MIDI keyboard. I can manually enter the notes into Ableton with the pencil tool. Either click on the pencil in the upper right-hand corner or use the keyboard shortcut B to enable draw mode. Now when I click in the MIDI editor, notes will appear on the pitch that I specify. You can see the pitch and the octave over here in the window, and they will be the length that is set in the marker snap editor. Here's a quarter note. Here's an eighth note. I'll undo those with Ctrl Z. There is a faster way to do this. Hold Ctrl and tap the number 2. Notice that the value goes down 1 setting from where you are. Now hold Ctrl and click 1. Watch the value go up by 1. If you hold Ctrl and tap the number 3, you'll subdivide the grid into triplets, as indicated by the T next to the subdivision numbers. So getting your grid to input 30-second note triplets is as easy as this. If you want to turn the grid completely off, select Ctrl 4. Here's what I'd like you to do. Answer these questions, and then use the MIDI editor to clean up the MIDI data you entered in the previous project. Get your notes to snap to the grid, and call me over to your workstation when you want me to listen to your edited clips. Good luck!